Hi. I hope you all are doing well today. Let me see if I can get this thing. So today I was on Twitter and saw Mondrian, who's a great follow and very interesting and fun person, had posted. They make these collages sometimes, and made this one, which I don't know. I hope you can see it, but it's this great kind of landscape with the moon and excuse me, all that. And this woman is wearing a blindfold, and so I had quote tweeted it with some kind of like vaguely snarky comment about blindfolds, and I realized that and Saul responded very sincerely, and I realized that I make a lot of snarky comments about how people should be using blindfolds as one of their main magical tools, but I haven't really said much about the practicalities or why you want to do that type of thing. And so I thought I would get into that because I've had some people make more questions about my particularities of my practice and stuff. So I thought I would do that today. When I responded about it, I said, what you want to do is use an effective blindfold. And he commented talking about like a ritual fillet or something, which I'm all for that. At the same time, some of my most profound experiences and times when I've had a profound experience in meditation or trance, and then found out that it had an impact on my life, have been, I've just been like lying flat out in bed in a darkened room with, let's say something, I don't know, this is kind of like a little cami top, like I think this is from Old Navy or Target or something. And it's just like a nice kind of a cotton, maybe a little bit of rayon blend in there. And it's a knit jersey. And what I like about it is that it's really good at blocking the light. Because what you are trying to do when you use a blindfold is doing that. You want to attune yourself inward by removing some of the extra sensory input that normally helps us stay grounded in like consensus outer reality. So I like to talk a lot about the experiment where the people are playing basketball, and you have, or not playing basketball, it's a psychological experiment on focus. You have a bunch of people and they're kind of around on a stage or something, and they're passing a basketball back and forth. So you tell the observers, okay, count how many passes there are. Meanwhile, when they're doing this, they have a person in full-on gorilla suit walk across the stage and walk across the area where these people are doing this. And afterwards, many of the people, they didn't even see the gorilla. So this is supposed to say, yeah, you can't trust your own eyes, because on the flip side, it shows that we have the ability to focus our attention. We have the ability to become absorbed in a task. And if you find people who are top performers, let's say people who are great at sports or musical performance or creating art, that type of stuff, they talk about getting in the flow. They talk about getting in that absorbed, focused state of mind. And that allows you to concentrate on that task that you want to accomplish. Now it's the same with meditation, trance work, working on the astral plane, all that type of occult or esoteric work, prayer. It's also very good for. And so one of the ways that you can help yourself concentrate on the area of reality and your particular consciousness that you would like to focus on is to remove some of that extra, some of the sensory input that's coming in. So you could focus more on the subtle impressions. I hate that I sound like such a crank, but here we are. So well, it's nice to have something beautiful and ritually charged and with occult symbols on it, or of the color of whatever it is you're trying to promote. All the times that I've had like really good results, profound results, have been, just like something like this, because it's black, it's soft, it has a lot of drape, so it'll crumple against, because I have not a very flat face. My eyes are sunken. So it'll crumple against your face and help block out the light. Also, this is, you have to, gauge it to your own situation because I, am a person who is very lacking in melanin. I mean, if you can see here, I have these big dark circles, um, and red around my eyes. My eyes are light. My veins show through everywhere. It's because I don't have a lot of melanin, so I'm a lot more extra sensitive to light. Other people, whether or not irregardless of your melanin situation, may also have that extra sensitivity or be less sensitive. My mom has the same light eyes and skin as I do, and she just loves to sit out in the sun. So it's not a hard and fast rule. But I want to say that for your work, especially when you are by yourself or training day to day, if you are sensitive to light, if you do want to block that out, choose something that will work. There's a lot of mass market blindfolds, sleep masks out there, and for me, they just don't conform enough. So I'm always getting like stray bits of light in. Another thing that is nice that you just might have around, which I always am a fan of, this is just like a flannel shirt, and it's nice and soft. It's cotton. It's gonna block out a lot. I don't know why I'm demonstrating this to you. You probably figure it out for yourself. You can just like kind of lay it across. Um, and yeah, it's nice. For me, I tend to get one of the reason I don't like a lot of mass-produced blindfolds and stuff is that they're often made of like polyester or satin weave. Um, or foam, and I had this one that was nice. It was kind of molded foam, so it blocked out most of the light. But I would sweat under the like my eyeballs would start sweating or eyelids would start sweating, which could be distracting. That's another reason why I would recommend something like cotton, something with kind of a looser weave, like not a satiny, something a little crumply, like a that's why a knit is nice because it has a lot more airflow naturally. Um, this is probably nicer than some of the ones that I've used in the past, but socks can be really good. And you can find these are from Ozone. They're actually nice and thick, and you can see they've got this beautiful design. They're really fun to wear. They're having a big sale now if you want to try. But yeah, if you get a sock, this is probably a little small for me, but it's the same thing. It's knit, it's very opaque. And socks, you're going to be a lot more likely if you want to try and find like a theme, color, symbol. There's a lot of novelty sock areas out there now that have things you can make if you want. Some people like to have a little bit of pressure to hold it on there. You can take even just like a sock and put in like some beans or rice, not cooked, obviously, or a little gravel, like if you have aquarium gravel or something around, and then that'll sit nicely on your head as you're lying back there. And that can be really nice feeling. Another thing you can try, depending upon do you run hot or cold or when you're in trance or whatever, is you can my friend Sean used to say this. There was that article he saw. It said, "How do you know that you're?" What he said, no, it was, "What are the signs of migraine?" He's like, "When you come home and your roommate has a sock on her head." Because I used to get like a sock, and they have gel packs you can get and put them like in the freezer or refrigerator. Freezer's probably better. And then you could just put it in the sock, so it's not just like this cold plastic on you, and it has a nice weight, and it'll be cooling if you tend to run hot. That's one of the reasons actually why I really got into blindfolds in the first place because I had a lot of migraines when I was young, and so I would spend a lot of time, being ultra light sensitive and trying to get some relief. It came with a lot of up with a lot of ways to just experiment to see what's the best way to not have light, and so that's how I hit on these tips and tricks for a blindfold. I think that if you were going to do like a ritual work where you're going to be like leading someone around, um, or they're seated and they want to have a blindfold to assist with trance work or channeling or whatever, then you can always, like if you have like a little top like this. It's knit, right? And so you can cut it into like a rectangle that will work like this. So you don't have all this, because of course I believe in multi-purpose items. So I'll wear this when it's cold. I'll use it for a blindfold. If my husband gets a headache, I'll put gel pack in there, or if I do. Um, but if you want to even just like cut a square that you can like triple fold or something that will go against your eyes, and then you can attach it or tie it on with something like that, like a nice ribbon or twine or whatever you want. This is a kind of a nice thing to have. It's just like a made, I don't know, like a made ribbon. It's just a silk material, and it's been cut and then just sewed into a tube and turned and pressed, right? Um, and these are kind of nice. It's not a super hard sewing thing to do, and you can use them to just get you in the mood for whatever it is that you're trying to do. If you're like have someone in ritual and they have like this black, or you could have actually whatever color you wanted, and then tie this around there. You could make it in. I mean, there's all type of materials these days and ribbons with colors, patterns. You could draw on or embroider on symbols, paint on there, whatever you like, and then they have meaning. I like this because it's from. I used to have a personal style blog for many years, and Sheila from the Ephemera blog, which is still going, is still fabulous, sent me this along with the top, and I don't have the top anymore. I think I wore it out. But I just love, I don't know if you can see, it's just like these beautiful mauves and kind of dusky ashes of roses colors and a rose design. It's really beautiful material. And hi, whoever just said hi. UFO Bigfoot, right on. But yeah, and it's nice because I love the design and the colors are really beautiful and unusual, and it's from her. And I think she's a fabulous lady, and it's nice. So you can get these kind of scraps of material that have a lot of meaning to you. Um, just personally for me as well. Um, I am not big on buying a lot of magical stuff. I like to have it be found. I like to have it go a little bit under the wire. I think that gifts or bits of meaningful items that you get from other people that you're interested in working with, um, they may not be as flashy, but I don't know. To me, they kind of have a more of a just a charisma. I guess the kids now there's you just call it Riz, right? Short for charisma. I think that's a wonderful word, and I'm glad that it's getting into slang too, because I think that's a lot of it. Items that have like a history or meaning to them, um, you start to empower them, and they start to kind of take on a little bit of a life of their own, and so they help you more. Um, for me, even just something like one of these kind of stupid mass market tanks, um, it helps to for me to knit my practice into my daily life because it's not like this big separation. Other people will have a very different approach and things will work differently for them. I'm just telling you what works for me and how I have developed my own methods, but which may or may not work for you. They may spark you to come up with, hopefully, your own viewpoints and experiments and methods that work for you. Because it's the thing, other people are very sensitive to color and symbol or movement or social cues or uh, weather patterns. I mean, it can be anything. A lot of it is just, especially if you're starting out or not like super far along, you feel like you have places you'd still want to go. Um, to just try out different things, read about different people's practices. I think that a lot of people have come up with things just kind of on the fly that don't necessarily get put out there that much, um, And, so people think that yeah, things are a little bit more systematized and all supposed to be doing one way than actually ends up being the case when you start to get around a lot of people that, do, esoteric practice. So I'm trying to think if there's any other tips I can give you. As far as, that, I would say just the, practical tips, pay attention to, whatever the material is, how if the light's getting in there, um, and, after a while, you'll figure out what helps you, what doesn't. If you have, like, strange sensations, like I mean, when I first got one of those, molded foam sleep masks, I thought, "Well, this is pretty good as far as blocking out the light," but then it was like, I couldn't believe when I started, like, just sweating, like, just, like, underneath where the mask was. I thought this is, like, the stupidest thing ever, but what are you gonna do? So that let me know that, having, I don't wanna say, uh, natural materials would be like, linen, cotton, uh, weaves that are, less like satiny or less hard weaves, um, is going to help me. So you can find out the same things. And it might be that, working blindfolded is not that great for you, that you work better with, excuse me, quiet or white sound or flotations that, taking a 8 million hits of acid. No, that's not a good idea. But some people, that's how they work. Um, so, uh, other than that, I think that's pretty much all I wanted to say, but, my life's been a little hectic, it's getting more hectic, recently, but I did, notice that over the last while, I've had some questions from people or comments, and I thought, I should just get some of this out here. It's not super glamorous, but, it's easy to do, and, I like that because it makes it easy for you also get a familiar. It makes it easy for you to practice when you have time or to, develop practice that you can, get at consistently, because that is the main thing, um, is even, if you just have, like, old T-shirt or whatever and just, like, flap that on there, if that makes it so, every day for 10 minutes, you can, do some, practice, that is what is going to help you improve, and that's what is gonna help you get some results, even if it, from the outside isn't super glamorous or exciting looking. Not that I'm against that, everyone knows I like to sew all my own clothes, and I love jewelry and all that type of stuff, but, I think that, you don't need to rely on that, and the main thing is to, get in there and get, practicing and, finding out what type of methods work for you. So, hopefully, in future, I have a couple more ideas for different, things to address, um, about, my own practice. Um, so if you have comments or, questions or whatever, just leave a comment, or you can, contact me on Twitter or email or whatever. And yeah, just thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a great day. Oliver says hello too.